Hello. Welcome to another special edition of the Hipster Runoff podcast, presented by hipsterrunoff.com. What is Hipster Runoff? It's a blog worth blogging about. This is the Hipster Runoff podcast. Today I'll be answering questions from readers and listeners like yourself. Do you have a question? Call into the Hipster Runoff hotline. The number is 909-BROSKI-2. Once again, that number is 909 BROSKI-2. Once again, hit up the hotline at 909-BROSKI-2. Call whenever you need. Call whenever you need something. Call whenever you want something. Call when you need advice. 909-BROSKI-2. The Hipster Runoff hotline is here for you. I want to answer your questions. I want to know more about you. I want to be there for you during your, quote, trials and tribulations, unquote. You're listening to the Hipster Runoff podcast. Today I'll be answering questions. If you have your own question, don't hesitate to call. I might answer live on the podcast. Call now at 909-BROSKI-2. Let's hit up the first question.
How many mp3s are in your iTunes?
I remember when I was a tween. I was a teenager. When I had a massive desktop computer. I thought that the internet, being on the computer, was about collecting things. Collecting pictures, collecting MP3s, collecting games, collecting anything you could collect on the internet. Using the right-click and save link as function. I remember back in the day, I used to think, I need more MP3s. I need to increase the number of MP3s in my iTunes library and get an iPod that has the most space possible so I can fit the most MP3s on it. I want to be popular. I want people to know that I have every kind of MP3 on my iPod. I want people to know I'm diverse. I want people to know that I care about music. I love it. I also want them to know that I get it for free. I don't pay for this. I'm getting a great deal. Sometimes I wonder if that was some sort of residual effect of people carrying around huge CD binders. The drive to have as many MP3s as possible in your possession was sort of like a screw you to those rich kids who had huge binders full of CDs. It was amazing. It was amazing I could have more MP3s than they contained in a huge 5-star binder full of CDs. Then it sort of got to the point where I had so many MP3s that it didn't even matter. I went through a few computer crashes. I lost my entire music library. I felt sad. Even though I didn't pay for any MP3s, the process of collecting them had taken over my life. Then I realized I didn't need to collect as many MP3s as possible. I didn't need to rip off as many bands as possible. Instead, I just wanted high-level MP3s. I was looking for quality, not quantity. Anyone can download an Eminem album and put it in their iTunes. But what if I told you I had 10 of the most valuable MP3s of 2K11 currently sitting in my iTunes library? I'm not going to share them with you. To answer your question, I have 500 terabytes of MP3s on external hard drives sitting somewhere in the back of my car.
Hey Carlos, what is your favorite type of ethnic food?
It's great to live in the United States of America, a true melting pot, not only of humans, but of foods. It's great to be able to see ethnic food at every corner. America is truly the home of the most authentic fusion food on the planet. Where else could a place like Chili's be invented? Outback Steakhouse, Australian cuisine, Panda Express, Pai Wai, P.F. Chang's, great authentic Chinese cuisine. If you're feeling like Mexican food, how about hitting up Jack in the Box, Chipotle, or everyone's favorite, Taco Bell? Do you feel like eating a classic Mediterranean wave, pizza pie? Try Papa John's, Domino's, Pizza Hut, Little Caesars, Hungry Howie's. You can even go to your local grocery store and pick up a Freschetta or maybe even a DiGiorno. How about a Red Baron? So many ethnic foods available. How about sushi? Do you eat that? It's not cooked. It's not American enough for me. I guess if I had to say, my favorite ethnic food is American. What's your favorite ethnic food?
Hey, Carlos. I have a favor to ask of you. So I have this friend, and he used to be a lame streamer, but he's recently made a lifestyle change to try and be more relevant, keeping up with the latest internet memes and buzz bands and whatnot. I feel like he's made some pretty big strides. Anyway, it's his 20-somethingth birthday this week, and, well, it would mean a lot if you would wish him happy birthday. His name is Joe. You've been a great presence in his life, and he would love to hear from you. Thanks, Carls. I appreciate it, bro. Okay, bye.
Joe, you'll always be a lame streamer. Never forget it. You'll always be a lame streamer. It doesn't matter what blogs you read, what buzz bands you listen to, what clothes you wear, what you do on the weekends, what you want to do with your life. Once a lame streamer, always a lame streamer.
Hey, Carls. My name is Steven. The other day, I was craving a Mountain Dew, and I went to the gas station across my house. And when I got to the corner, 4 bros in a raised pickup truck called me a fucking hipster faggot and told me to get the fuck out of town. It didn't faze me at first, but on the walk home while enjoying my Mountain Dew, it got me thinking, am I a hipster? Am I just another part of the lame streamer mass? Or am I just another misunderstood alt individual trying to make his way in this world? Please help me. I feel so lost. I feel so lonely. Give me guidance.
It's alright, Steven. Don't listen to them. The truth is, they called you that dirty word because you were probably drinking a Mountain Dew. After the launch of Mountain Dew's green label sound, it seems like everyone thinks that Mountain Dew is the official drink of alternative people. That's not really true. Maybe it's because they served Pepsi products in Taco Bell. I'm not sure. You should probably drink something more authentic. What's the most authentic soda? Do you drink soda? Is soda inauthentic? Do you drink things like green tea? Do you drink SoBe via So Be Yourself? Do you drink coconut water? How about Snapple? What is the most authentic alternative beverage? When you go to a gas station, do you get a soda from a bottle, from a can, or from the fountain?
Hey, Carls. So, I am a outcoming alt chick, and my previous lifestyle does not quite fit this. Anyway, I need a change of wardrobe. How about some good clothing lines do you think that you would know of to get my very fine self in some great alt clothes? Thanks.
I'm not sure where girls spend their time shopping. I think a lot of them use online thrift stores, hunting for sweet-ass vintage deals. Maybe some of them will go to their local Goodwill. Maybe they'll go to a high-end thrift vintage store, something like Buffalo Exchange, except not as crappy. Maybe they'll go to Irby Audi, Appy. Maybe they'll go to Macy's. How about Hollister? What about Abercrombie's and Fitch's? If you're heavy set, maybe you can go to the Ann Taylor Loft or the Dress Barn. I wonder if J.C. Penney's is alt. What about Mervyn's? Solo Serve? Where is the most authentic place for a female to shop? Do you just shop at the Gap?
When are you coming out of the closet? We all know you're gay.
Aren't we all a little bit gay? Isn't there something a little bit queer about all of us? Haven't you ever fantasized about someone who is the same sex as you? Isn't everybody a little bit bi? Isn't everybody a little bit straight? What is sexuality? Sometimes I feel like modern sexuality is just sitting on the internet, staring at a screen, watching a woman with large breasts and an amazing, bodacious figure getting her brains banged out of her by a large man with a large penis. I wonder whatever happened to intimacy, whatever happened to authentic sexuality. Are you worried about tweens? Are you worried about teens and their exposure to pornography?
Hi, Carls. I go to this expensive art school in Brooklyn. My crappy apartment doesn't have internet, but I have an iPhone. And I want to listen to the podcast, but I can't do it on my iPhone. Can you do something about that? Thanks.
I'm looking to get this podcast on iTunes in this coming month. I'm sorry. I know the current setup is annoying, but I basically have to create a backlog of existing podcasts before I can submit it to the iTunes store. I have to present myself as a legitimate podcast brand before they accept me. I'm trying to keep it clean. I'm trying to avoid any sort of copyright issues. Just trying to be authentic. But it's the goal to be on iTunes. I really appreciate those of you who have listened, even though I'm not on iTunes. I believe in the power of the podcast. I want to be there for you. I want to be in your phone. I want to be in your iPhone. I want to be in your iTunes. I want to be there for you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, hi, Carlos. I'm a young Puerto Rican that's trying to be more out in my lifestyle. I'm feeling kind of like a lame streamer because all it is Taco Bell and Chili's and all these lame streaming discos. Please let me know how I can be more alt in Puerto Rico. Thank you.
I've never been to Puerto Rico. I'm not sure what the alt scene is like there, but it seems pretty underground. It seems like maybe you can start some sort of lo-fi, chill wave, indie buzz band. You can become an innovator of the Puerto Rican indie scene. Sometimes I wish I could move to a remote/irrelevant state in the United States, or move to a third world or second world country that isn't recognized as alt. Then I'll start some sort of buzz band, sort of like the chill wave movement, how it put South Carolina on the map. Maybe I'll move to Idaho, North Dakota, Wyoming, somewhere like that, and I'll make it seem like there's this whole scene of independent artists coming together for a greater good, coming together for all the right reasons. Do you live in a remote area? Is it better for a buzz band to come from Brooklyn, or is it more authentic for them to come from somewhere random, like Jackson, Mississippi, or Memphis, Tennessee, or somewhere in Sri Lanka via MIA?
Hey, Carls. I've been in a relationship for around 7 years now, and I was wondering where we should both eat as like an alt restaurant or whatever, because I live in suburbia, and I was wondering if I should travel or just eat in the place that I live at. And I thank you.
Trapped in suburbia, existing in a dead-end relationship. Been there, done that. Bought the gift certificate to Chili's. I'm not sure why you need to leave suburbia. I'm not sure where you need to eat. Maybe you should learn how to cook. You can take control. You can make whatever meal you want. On the other hand, if eating is about indulging, then maybe you should just go somewhere in suburbia, a chain restaurant, maybe even just a place like McDonald's. If you put in $10, you'll get a lot of food. You can gorge. You'll be so full. You'll get so fat. It'll be sweet. That's what being in a relationship is all about. Growing old, getting fat, resenting each other. That's what you need to experience with your loved one. It's okay. Don't run away from suburbia. Embrace it. Raise children there. Maybe find a better school district. But it seems promising. I believe in you.
Carls, I have a huge problem. My friend just called me out, and he said I'm too pitchforked out. He's basically saying that my whole street music alt cred and knowledge is just based on Pitchfork. I like whatever they like. And I thought about it, and then I looked at my top 21 tracks of the year and I compared them to Pitchfork's top tracks, and 15 of my top 21 tracks were in their top 20 tracks. Carls, I'm having a quarter-life crisis here. I need your help. I don't know what to do. My whole life I thought I had superior music intellect, but now I just realize it's just a sham. It's just based off of Pitchfork. I'm just regurgitating their taste. I'm just a mindless Pitchfork reader. Am I addicted to Pitchfork? Am I a Pitchfork addict? Carlos, I really need your help. Sincerely, George.
Hey George, don't worry. You're not alone. Part of being a modern indie music fan is the constant questioning of the sources from which we get content, the ways we form our own opinions. Do our opinions belong to us, Or are they generated by the media? Don't worry. People have been experiencing this sort of epiphany/disconnect for a long time. Ever since newspapers were invented, maybe. Or even before that. I'm not even sure how media worked before that. We acquire most of our information about the indie scene from blogs and websites. People choose to align their brands with a specific website. We basically align our opinions with that website, or we go to that website because we hate it. Is Pitchfork the new Rolling Stone magazine? Is Pitchfork the most authentic indie tastemaker in the world? Has NPR become a stronger music recommendation force than Pitchfork because NPR listeners actually buy the album? Sometimes I wonder if my opinions on politics, sports, the modern world, my opinions on anything are all just crafted by the media. I wonder if I have anything original to say. I wonder if I am who I am. I wonder if I am creating my own opinions, my own perspective on the world, or if the world has created the perspective from which I am supposed to see it. Sometimes I get anxious. What if there's an entire indie scene that exists outside of the blogosphere? What if there is a more authentic place? A place that exists, not on the internet, but maybe in real life, or maybe on an entirely different network of sites. I don't know, I'm scared. I'm scared of venturing out. I feel safe here. I feel like I know what's relevant. Maybe that type of security is all I need. Why do people even like indie music? Do they just want to be more alt than mainstreamers? Or do they truly appreciate the art? I'm not even sure anymore. I'm not even sure why I like the music I like. I'm scared. I'm scared. Maybe it's less about liking music and more about just being an innovator/early adopter in terms of curating the careers of potential buzz bands. Maybe I'll never do anything great with my life, but what if I could tell you I was one of the first 1,000 people to have heard Vampire Weekend? That's something, isn't it? That's something.
Carl's, or should I say, Carlist. I just wanted to call. I've had this question that's just been burning my retina, burning my, in my head for the last 24 hours since the Coachella lineup release. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the crystal castlist of them all? I would really appreciate an answer. Thanks, Carl.
Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the crystal castlist of them all? Good one, bro. Y'all were great on Fallon.
Hi, Carl. I'm thinking about making a blog. How do you become a successful blogger? And how much do you make a year? Bye.
So many people start so many different blogs for all of the wrong reasons. The truth is, get into a blog because you love it. Don't get into a blog because you can do it better than a pre-existing blog. The truth is, no one cares about your opinion. I'm sorry. I don't have any tips for you. You're my competitor. I hope you fail. I hope you start a blog, and I hope you keep it running for 1 to 2 days. Then you realize there's no point. Why am I even doing this? I'm making a complete ass of myself. Why am I promoting this blog? How did the pre-existing blogs get so popular? I know they suck, but at the same time, you have to give them props. I never should have started a blog. I feel embarrassed. Maybe I'll just get a real job. A job where I am paid in money instead of bucks. Have you ever started a blog? How did it go? What happened? Is your blog insanely popular and relevant now? Or did you just hassle pre-existing bloggers, telling them to check out your content, trying to make them realize that their brand was the same as your brand? Why do people start blogs? How do people get blog famous? How do people get alt famous? If you had a blog, what would you blog about? Would it be a crappy blog or an authentic blog? Blog. Web blog.
Hey, Carl, I want to know what you think the Strokes need to do if they're going to get a 10.0 on their next album.
I wonder what the Strokes need to get a 10.0 on their upcoming album. They should probably send some sort of fruit basket to the Pitchfork office, or maybe play their South by Southwest party or something like that. In all seriousness, I don't think the Strokes are 10.0 material, nor do they care about 10.0s. They're probably just going to sell tons of albums to overgrounders, mainstreamers, lamestreamers, alts, and everyone all across the world. I hope they completely take a shit on the Arcade Fire album sales numbers. Maybe they won't. What if we find out that the Arcade Fire and Vampire Weekend are more popular than the Strokes? Did the Strokes ruin their brand? Can the Strokes revive? Are the Strokes authentic? Did their last album completely blow? Are you a Strokes fan? Will this new Strokes album open some sort of new opportunity for discourse where people will write these really long blog posts commenting on the state of the scene and things like that? I'm not even sure, but I don't think the Strokes are going to get a 10.0. It seems more likely that if they have a good album, it'll get like a 9.1, but if they have a bad album, it'll probably get like a 6.3 or a 6.6. What do you think? What will the Strokes get on their upcoming album? Do you think that their album will save 2K11?
Carl, you're a liar. You're a big fucking lie, mate. Carl, what the fuck? Your fucking podcast, it's just a fucking mp3. It's just not a podcast. Because when I put on my fucking iPod, it goes to the fucking music section and not to the podcast section. So you're full of fucking bollocks, Carl. Bollocks. You fucking pussy wanker liar, tosser mate. Fuck off.
Listen, bro. I'm not sure what language you're speaking in, but it sure as hell isn't American. I'm sorry about the podcast. It'll be in iTunes soon enough, unless I get rejected. I'm sorry. I'm doing my best. I'm just trying to generate premium content for my authentic fans. Fans that truly care about the brand. Fans that spend time listening to Carl's voice on the go. I hope you're enjoying these podcasts. It means a lot that you're fired up, you're angry, because that means you care. You picked up the phone and actively engaged me, and I appreciate that. I'm here for you. I hear your feedback, and I promise to respond. Sort of like Barack Obama, except I'm actually going to respond. I'm not just going to chill out for 4 years and just watch the country go down the crapper. I'm not even sure if that's true, but I've heard it on the news or something. I don't really follow politics. What do you think about Barack Obama's first term? Will he be reelected?
Carl, I love you. Do you love me too? I miss you so much.
I really miss you too. I think we had a great relationship. We grew up a lot together. I'm sorry about the way I was. I'm sorry about how things ended. But you know, we just went in a different direction. Sometimes I'll pause and I'll think, what if we had stayed together? What if we followed our dreams together? I mean, we could have been happy. It could have worked. But at the same time, both you and I have had such meaningful experiences. It's just like life, you know? So many things you can look back on and take them back, have regrets, but at the same time, it's life. It's beautiful. It's ugly. One day, I'm gonna die. I'll be sitting on my deathbed in a hospital, and I'll think of your face. I'll think about those memories we had, and I'll think, why didn't I let her? Why didn't I let her stay in my life? She should be right here, right now. I'm about to die. I'm sorry. I'm still in love with you too. This has been the Hipster Runoff podcast, getting vulnerable and answering questions. To ask your own question, call the Hipster Runoff hotline at 909-BROSKI-2. Once again, that number is 909-BROSKI-2. Let's take one final caller with the meaningful story about alt life.
Hey, Carls. Listen, I just got back from seeing the Smith Westerns. The very night, the very day that it was named Best New Music by PitchforkMedia.com. P-Fork, as it's known. It was named Best New Music by Pitchfork. And I saw them tonight at a sold-out show in Brooklyn, in Williamsburg, in a small art gallery. Isn't that enough? Like, isn't that exactly what I'm supposed to be doing? I saw a 8.4 show in a tiny little space, and yet I still feel empty inside. It's true. I'm not making this up. Is this rational? Is this correct? Shouldn't I be feeling something different inside? I wish I was making this up. I wish I was just joking around with you, like I'm playing along with the whole, you know, I don't know, the narrative of this hipster life we're all living. There's lots of quote, unquote, on this. But I still feel pretty unfulfilled. What should I do from this point on? I know I'm just supposed to ask one question, but maybe this is many questions. Maybe this is just one question, the big question. I don't know. I would appreciate some kind of advice on this. To wrap up, I saw the Smith Westerns. Still feel lonely and lost. Please help.
I'm not sure what to say. Sometimes it's like we're pursuing this alternative lifestyle so hard that when we get to this point where we're living it, it seems underwhelming. It seems like maybe from the outside it was something special, but then when you get there, it's pretty whatever. It's pretty mainstream. It's pretty attainable. You realize that maybe anybody can be alt. Sometimes I want to be alt. Sometimes I want to be mainstream. Sometimes I want to be rich. Sometimes I want to be happy. Sometimes I want to be happy and rich. Sometimes I want to be able to see any buzz band I want any night of the week. But other times, I'd rather just stay in and put on some big headphones and listen to my iTunes. I'm chasing relevancy. I'm chasing a meaningful, authentic life. But sometimes, I feel like I'm running away from myself. I feel like I'll never be authentic. I feel like when I become authentic, I'll be inauthentic. I'm not even sure anymore. I'm not sure who I am. I'm not sure which buzz bands I like. I'm sorry.
For more information about the Hipster Runoff podcast, please visit www.hipsterrunoff.com/podcast.